Good morning. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Perfect. Good morning, Aurora.
Good morning, Diego.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm about to make a sandwich right now.
So where do you live, by the way?
I live in Yonkers. I live in New York.
In New York. Okay, East Coast.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to start with, before we even get into the interview, what I like to do is kind of just see like what you would like to auction, like what kind of just see like what type of things you would like to do for PS Unique, like in the sense of what type of art you would like to put out there, just so we can kind of understand a date that works with you, and go from there.
I was planning on putting these bags out.
Okay.
They're just like pretty simple,
Fine.
just elastic handle,
Can you cut in
flowers, hand painted, hand sewn type shit. Yeah. And possibly some posters. And that'll be around the second week of June.
Second week of June would be a good date for you.
Cool.
Perfect. Let me write that down just for me. Okay, so the second week of June would be the 6th or later? Or like you're saying like the 13th?
Like the 12th.
12th is a Saturday, so the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
So 13th will be, which dates are good for you?
Like for me, I do them on Mondays. So I start the auction on Monday and it runs up till Sunday. So for June, in that case, it would be the 7th or the 14th.
Okay. The 7th is good.
Okay. I'm putting you down as the 7th. That's fine. And all I need from you before then is just like a few pictures of the items, because I do some little edits and whatnot to kind of just promote the artist. I do this just for fun and to kind of promote the page. So that's
I got you. I'm gonna do that.
Perfect. All right, we can start the interview. Aurora,
all right.
Wonderful. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Aurora. Wait, hold on.
Take your time. Get ready.
Leave the camera ready. All right.
There we go. Perfect.
Hello, my name is Aurora. I'm a visual artist, a painter for the most part. I like geometry in my paintings and my art, but not in real life because I can't do math for shit.
What do you like about geometry? That's actually a good way to start it out.
Once you learn how to draw circles and shapes and triangles and you really perfect them, it's a nice addition to any drawing, any painting.
I feel like everything kind of starts with shapes too. Like, any type of intricate painting kind of has to start with like a circle and then like little 2 ears or like triangles.
The basics.
Exactly. And so why like, okay, so you got into to kind of like learn the craft? Is that where you think that's why you started with geometry, or like you just something that you're passionate about? So I mean, geometry, like sacred geometry, there's so many things that kind of have to do with geometry. So I'm just, to start off, I'm interested.
Well, I've been painting, I've been drawing since I was like 4, 3. Yeah, so it's not about the basics as much as it's about like just like I guess I'm kind of like a minimalist in a way. I could really do without most things and be happy without them. So I don't know, maybe just I don't know, just having the basic elements of shapes and stuff in my paintings and drawings it just makes me happy. I just like having a nice perfect circle, a nice perfect triangle. In the same way that just like having a meal and having a place to stay is perfectly just fine by me. You feel me?
And when you say you're a minimalistic, so you say that in the sense of like actual life, like you're not someone that needs to indulge in many things.
Don't get me wrong. I like to indulge, but I think that the way that popular culture peddles a lot of this, you need to constantly be doing this and doing that and getting this and getting that. I think it's very tiresome. It's very tiring.
Absolutely.
Like, why isn't there an end to this? Like, why can't there be some sort of baseline level of satisfaction without a constant need for consumerism?
Absolutely. And I've been having an idea. I love the interviews that I've been doing, but I want to get more like crazy with my interviews. So I want to ask you a question. Why are we here, Aurora? Us humans, why are we here?
Oh my gosh.
All the time you need to think about it. Like, no pressure. I just cut and do whatever.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
A big pressure question right there.
It is. It is.
Okay. Should have rolled a joint for this one. This is a good question to ponder over.
Time if you want to. Honestly.
I don't know. Why are we here? To enjoy something, to do something. You feel me? I don't know. Do something. You just do something every day. You find something to do. You find something, stick to something that makes you happy, or stick to something that doesn't make you happy. Or, I don't know. It depends on which video game mode you're deciding to live your life in. You in calm mode? You in hippie mode? You in what mode you in? Then the rest of your life revolves around what's in your mind, I guess. Whatever you're thinking about. I guess we all have some presets, so it's like whatever that is, you're adhering to those systems of working. To adhere to some sort of system of working, whether or not we all know it, we're working in some way for some reason to do something. I'm personally here just to make art. I'm trying to figure that out still.
And I'm sorry if I went too big too fast. I might have been.
Nah.
But that's kind of like where I want to direction my interviews, because like it's great. Like I'm interested in like the path why you got into art. Like great, but I want to know like the real shit. And what you answered like was really, it kind of made a lot of sense to me. Like it is true. Like you can't really answer that question for everyone, but you can answer it for yourself. And something that kind of intrigued me was like when you said like, kind of what type of character video game you want to be in. Like, is that kind of how you interpret the world to some extent? Like that we are in some sort of like.
I was told yesterday by someone that they see me as the type of person that kind of just sees like art and joy and everything. And at first I thought it sounded kind of corny because I was like, not to be that person that's always just like starry-eyed and like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, regardless of whatever's happening in the situation. I kind of am that type of person where it's like kind of just intrigued by things, like on more of an aesthetic level sometimes than anything else, but also on like the level of just I'm alive at the same time that this thing is existing.
Yeah, your camera went off for a second. Oh,
my bad. I need to go get my charger. I'm alive at the same time that okay, actually I'm gonna leave this camera right here. I'm alive at the same time.
You're a lot at the same time, you said?
I'm alive at the same. I look at things with the intrigue of I'm alive at the same time as this thing is existing. Let's, for example, like if it's a tree, like I like to look at the tree as like it's really wonderful and interesting that we're both alive at the same time, and I get to experience this right now. You know,
That's amazing.
is just amazement at the fact that any of this exists in the first place.
So like, does it come from a standpoint like I see exactly what you mean, like the type of people that, you know, some people be like, bro, it's just a flower, and you're like, it's not, but
It's not just a flower.
Yeah.
It decided to grow and put 5 petals on itself and have like little flecks of pollen decorating it. And once in a while, bees come along and just like make honey out of the pollen and nectar and whatever. And it's like, it's amazing that any of it exists in the first place.
Very true.
Yeah, but I tend to definitely lose the light sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Like we all have our days.
Everyone. Yesterday I had a shitty day. Honestly, probably the interview yesterday would have went completely different. I was so salty all day. I don't know.
I'm sorry that you had such a bad day.
Yeah, it happens. As you said, you know, I'm someone that is quite grateful about life too. Like I do like to, and I kind of sometimes want to put myself in positions that I do want to, you know, maybe spend a little bit more time looking at something because I want to give it more value to it. You know, I think that's something that you can practice as well. It's not necessarily that some people just have this amazement, or some people do. It's just genetic. I don't know, maybe just like upbringing or whatnot. But like, it's kind of like a thing that you can practice too. If you just spend like, you know, you would look at a flower and you know, glance at it. But what if you were to spend 3-4 seconds, a little bit more each time? It's something that you would like kind of direction yourself towards, because it's a great thing to have. But all my question, where do you think this gratefulness for life came from you? Where did it originate?
Oof. I'm gonna answer your question, but you were just talking about kind of ties into the whole putting a little bit of time each day into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? I'm kind of, yeah, I'm learning how to do that too. But where did this gratefulness for life come from?
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No. Don't apologize. I mean, like, just give me a second to think. It's a big question. It's a lot to think about. And yeah, that's all. Gratefulness for life. I've always been sort of a hippy dippy type of person. But 2020 took me out of my whole entire way of stepping. Because a lot of how I was just like chilling, vibing in life was just focused around stuff that you can't do in a pandemic. And having to do with a whole bunch of housing insecurity, financial insecurity, and a bunch of all that weirdness that comes with capitalist systems. Definitely helped me change my point of view.
So this past year was a rough one for you, like for pretty much everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. I get it. So do you think that has hit on your gratefulness to life, or has given you new lights to it? Like,
It's given me more things to be grateful for, because you realize all the stuff that you really have. You know?
And how fast it can go too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
And the things that don't matter.
absolutely. So you don't adhere with the capitalistic mindset of corporate America.
I mean, I would love to not deal with it, but we all have to deal with it. So I'm finding my own customized little route through whatever this is.
Did you make that shirt that you're wearing, by the way?
I did.
That's fire. Do you do it with what? Like you bleached it?
Some acrylic paint and some GAC 900.
That's pretty sick.
Thank you.
Aurora, do you see yourself? Okay, so you born in America. So you've lived in what was this town called again? In New York.
I live in
What's it called?
Yonkers.
Yonkers.
New York.
Yeah, Yonkers. So you've lived in Yonkers your whole life?
No.
No.
Oh no.
What's the story?
Oh, okay. So I was born in Washington Heights to both my parents are first generation Dominican, like they came from Dominican Republic, so I guess I'm like first generation. And then we moved to Jersey when I was in elementary school, but New York is New York, you feel me? New York has everything. So I always had to be over here. And now I live in Yonkers, but for the past year and a half, I was, but like a year before this, I was living just in New York generally.
Okay, the city.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Feels chaotic. I don't know. I always had that feeling of New York being really that concrete jungle. It's like, I don't know. Feels a little
It's chaotic, but I tend to stick to myself. So, not too much chaos.
What has been your influences growing up, like artistically or musically, anything? What kind of sparked your joy?
Well, my parents were elementary school teachers, so they would take me on the field trips when they would go to museums and stuff.
Okay.
You feel me? And there was elementary school teachers in the city, and as we know, the school system is pretty like negligent when it comes to the distribution of supplies and stuff to students. So they would have a bunch of extra acrylics and oil pastels and the hard watercolors, the big hard watercolors, those stuff. Yeah, I was artistically influenced as a kid by all the material I had access to because of the fact that they just weren't distributing it. They weren't using it. Our program wasn't using it. It was just a whole lot of negligence on their part. So I would just get like the little leftovers, and that's, that's a lot for one kid.
Like as a kid, you could go crazy with those things, especially if you've got crazy art supplies, acrylic, pastel.
Yeah, the crayons, you feel me? And my parents were teachers, so they were always doing work for someone else,
What did your parents teach, if I may ask?
Science, chemistry, and computer.
Both of them?
My dad's a computer teacher. My mom's a science teacher.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you always have to get good grades in your childhood? Was that kind of like, or not really?
Oh God!
Parents have always.
Oh my God! Grades was everything. Grades was the grading system used in school was kind of like felt like it was a moral grade of my entire character.
Oh my God!
And my whole the grading system they used in school felt like it was a grading system you goes towards how well my entire life was going.
Really?
Yeah, and it like it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure.
Imagine.
I'm the eldest daughter, you feel me?
You gotta lead by example.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
What did you say?
How many siblings do you have?
Two. My sister, she's a teenager now. I was actually gonna go hang out with her today.
You should.
And then my brother, he is so big. I didn't get to watch him grow up, but like he's pretty sure he's 11.
Wow.
At this point. Like time flies by crazy.
Very true. Are they artistically inclined, or is it just you that kind of has this drive in the family?
I'm pretty sure no. My sister loves drawing and she loves makeup art and stuff. But my brother is much younger than us and hasn't really been around as much, but he's also an artist. I think it runs in the family. Yeah, he just runs in the family at this point.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. Yeah. Do you have any subjects that you would like to talk about? I don't know, things that areas.
I keep expanding on the stuff we already talked about.
Please. I will shut up.
Were you pressured to have good grades as a child?
Not really. My parents weren't teachers.
Oh my God,
Well, like, you know, it's always. I have an older.
This is a life.
I have an older sister though that